Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. And in today's video, we're keeping this concept fairly simple. So I was participating in Gabby from Debbie Reed's Winterween, and that ended officially today on Friday, January 10th. But I did get to my last two books because we weren't feeling very well yesterday. Isn't that right, pumpkins? Yeah. Oh. Cute. We weren't feeling well yesterday. I've been having some back pain, you know, as it goes. So we're feeling a little better today, which is good. And I figured that since the last two books I left to read are connected, which are What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, and the book that inspired that, The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe, that I would read these two books and do a quick little vloggy vlog about it. Here you go. Here you go, sis. I'm filming. Can you go inside? Thank you. Anywho, yeah, so it's gonna be a quick, short and sweet 48-hour reading vlog, less than 48 hours really, where we're gonna read these two short little books and then tell you how I feel about them and tell you how they kind of compare, how they connect. And so that's pretty much what I have planned for this vlog. But yeah, so let's get to reading. We love a short story. Pumpkin is wanting pets. Ugh, hold on.
Yeah.
We've already finished the Fall of the House of Usher. It is like 30 pages on Kindle, and I found a PDF that you can get on americanenglish.state.gov, and you can actually get the entire short story there, and it's 12 pages long. Much as I thought, this is kind of like a gothic horror, and essentially we have four main characters here. We have our narrator, who we're kind of seeing through their eyes. We have Roderick, who's the narrator's boyhood friend. There's Madeline, who is Roderick's twin. And we have the house of Usher. And really, this is just a quick little gothic tale with spooky descriptions, very Poe-esque. I haven't read a Poe work in a long time, but the man knows how to write a description. Just for you to get like a little itty bitty taste, I thought I would read just a little bit about the house. And he really does, like, I would say, like, Poe really does tie the house and the family of the House of Usher, which kind of go together in the descriptions, which I think is a great play on words and a great use of kind of putting this whole metaphor together. But just like a beginning from the first page of this. It says, oh, well, actually, let me show you. It says, I looked at the scene, I say, with a complete sadness of soul, which was no healthy, earthly feeling. There was a coldness, a sickening of the heart, in which I could discover nothing to lighten the weight I felt. What was it, I asked myself, what was it that was so fearful, so frightening in my view of the House of Usher? This was a question to which I could find no answer. And here it kind of really gives you the essence of Poe tying in these concepts of the family and the house being together. It says, I again looked upon the picture of the house reflected in the lake to the house itself. A strange idea grew in my mind. An idea so strange that I tell it only to show the force of the feelings which laid their weight on me. I really believed that around the whole house and the ground around it, the air itself was different. It was not the air of heaven. It rose from the dead, decaying trees, from the gray walls and the quiet lake. It was sickly, unhealthy air that I could see, slow moving, heavy, and gray. So it was, you know, I definitely think it's gonna be something that I reread, because I feel like maybe my brain just wasn't all there while I was reading it. But I don't know, like, a lot of people describe this as like a horror, like giving you that eerie feeling, and I definitely got that, but to me it was a little more like atmospheric, if anything. Like, I felt like the descriptions of the house and just Roderick's and Roderick's maladies were just added to this like creepy atmosphere, if anything else. But the twist was a good one, I have to say. I mean, it's Poe, so there's always a twist. I feel like that's not a spoiler, but definitely worth a read. I mean, it's only 12 pages if you get the PDF. In fact, I will link the PDF below if you want to read The Fall of the House of Usher. I think it's great that you can just access this and be able to read it, but it was a great little short story. It was written in 1839, published with a collection of stories from my understanding. But now that I'm going into this idea that we have a house that's kind of embodying decay, embodying the fall of a family, and kind of vice versa, I think this will be interesting to go into What Moves the Dead. I'm just curious to see, I think I read like the first chapter of What Moves the Dead a while ago when I was gonna read it for Summerween, possibly. But no, was it Summerween? It was something. But I do think it takes that same like gothic horror atmosphere, and I feel like that translates well. I can also see why people would want to make adaptations of it, because, you know, because it is a short novel, it just gives you so much that you could like build off of. The idea of a family crumbling, this very gothic house, I am interested. But that's one down. We have got one more to go. So let's do it. Happy Saturday, everybody. It is the next day, clearly, and I have finished What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, and I think this is my first 5-star of the year, which is crazy because this book is only 165 pages. We love a little short queen, king, ruler, empress, empire. I don't know. Anyway, so I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It was creepy. It had really fun characters. I loved the character of Easton. Like, the voice that the character had was so distinct and so fun. I loved Easton's little kind of interior thoughts about random things. I also, looking through here, so let's back up. So as I mentioned, this book is based off the story, The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe, which I read yesterday. And overall, I would say, like, there are nuggets throughout this book that pay homage to the original short story. For sure. Descriptions, talking about like the house having eyes, that was something that Poe used as a descriptor for House of Usher, like the physical house. There was like I mentioned, fungal talk, a lot of fungal talk. There is fungal horror in here, so if you are like me and find mycelia a little bit creepy, you are gonna get some chills down your back. Just forewarning you. But the story kind of follows the same premise. So instead of having an unnamed narrator, we have Alex Easton. Alex is from a fictional place that apparently, according to T. Kingfisher, in her author's end pages, was actually a fictional European monarchy that would have been read back in the 1890s. So she mentions, and I should have looked this up before we started talking. Hold on. Oh, there was a movie way back in the day. Okay, so the book that she mentions, I'm gonna pull it up here. The book that T. Kingfisher mentions in her author's note is The Prisoner of Zenda, which was written by Anthony Hope in 1894. It's an adventure novel in which the king of Ruritania is drugged on the eve of his coronation and thus unable to attend the ceremony. Political forces within the realm are such that in order for the king to retain the crown, his coronation must proceed. Fortuitously, an English gentleman on holiday in Ruritania, who resembles the monarch, is persuaded to act as his political decoy in an effort to stave the unstable political situation of the interregnum, which means a period of discontinuity, or gap in government, organizational, social order. Okay, so I guess Galatian people live in the country of Moravia, which is based off of this book. Here we go. Based off the book, The Prisoner of Zenda. Interesting. So I thought that was a fun little tidbit, fun little history lesson for you there. Yeah, but I just felt like I agreed with T. Kingfisher's analysis of after she read The Fall of the House of Usher, that it was almost like I was like, oh, this was a fun little short, but like, there are so many things to be explored, and I think she explored them very well. And I think she explored them well with really interesting characters. I liked every single character in this book. I liked our main character. Like I said, I really liked Easton's voice. I'm trying to find... Easton said a lot of things about Americans, which I thought were just funny. I don't know, like, just the comments on Americans were just hysterical. I'm trying to find one. Oh, here we go. This is like the first introduction to Denton, who is an American doctor who Easton is introduced to when Khan arrives to the house. And just to note, I'm using Khan because they have, in this fictional country, there are 7 different pronouns, and that is a pronoun for sworn soldiers, So that is the pronoun that Easton uses in the book. So it says, this is just like an inner monologue of theirs. I am never sure what to think of Americans. Their brashness can be charming, but just when I decide that I rather like them, I meet one that I wish would go back to America and then perhaps keep going off the far edge into the sea. I don't know. I think that is like such an apt description of how some Europeans feel about Americans. Especially in like historical fictions, historical tales that involve like an American coming to Europe. I always feel like that is the vibe, and that is such like an accurate vibe of like, you know, we're known for being very forthright and up in your face and just kind of like, here I am, here we are. And it can be lovely, but at the same time, oh, thank you, Pumpkin, for giving me more light. It can be lovely, but at the same time, it can be a little much, depending on who you are and where you come from and, you know, what your cultural kind of norms are. So thought those little quips were fun. But yeah, this book progressively got more horror-filled, and I had a great little time. And I would definitely recommend, if you were going to read What Moves the Dead, or if you've already read it, I would recommend going ahead and reading The Fall of the House of Usher, and then rereading What Moves the Dead, or reading What Moves the Dead, because I think you will be able to appreciate how T. Kingfisher took that short 12 to 30 pages, depending on where you're getting it, page short story, and weaved it through this narrative and then added like a bunch of fun characters. I also loved that the amateur mycologist who we meet, Miss Potter, is supposed to be Beatrice Potter's aunt, because apparently Beatrice Potter's aunt was an amateur mycologist. And I just thought that was so stinking cool. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm glad I got my first 5-star here in the month of January, and it was a little short one to keep us going. But yeah, I'm glad that I read The Fall of the House of Usher before reading this, because I felt like it really helped me see what the author's vision was. I know there is a follow-up book to this, which I'm kind of surprised, which is called What Feasts at Night. So I definitely think I will still read it. I'm not sure how we will move forward, but I'm assuming we're moving forward with our characters there. Maybe they are on some more strange fungal hunts in the next one. But I am looking forward to it. This is just be a short little video where we read these 2 books in less than 24 hours. And I found a new little 5-star favorite and got to read a classic short story. So I think it's a win-win. And even though this didn't quite make it into Winterween, I still feel like I just extended a little bit. You know, just kept the vibes going into this new week. But I'm super excited. So I actually did go through my backlist of books on my shelves here and made a 20 for 25 list. So that is a video that we're gonna be doing for Wednesday. And I also saw Jan's announcement about Jan Tay's Inferno. her reading challenge in the month of February, so I'm excited. I'm definitely going to be preparing for that. I'm going to participate in that readathon in February as well. If you're interested in joining me in that, I'm going to go ahead and link Jan's video announcement below so you can join me in that readathon. And if you've read The Fall of the House of Usher or What Moves the Dead or both, I would love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to drop them down below. And if you want, put a mushroom in the comments if you made it here till the end. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to stick around for more bookish and nerdish content, feel free to subscribe. I upload every Wednesday and most Sundays. And until next time, I hope you read a good book. I hope you find some joy, and most importantly, I hope you do something to make the world a better place. And I will see you in my next one. Bye! Say goodbye to the peoples. Oh. That's good scritches.